Good morning, friends and family, YouTube worldwide. Welcome back to my channel. First and foremost, I want to give thanks to the Most High for allowing everything possible and for allowing me to give you this content. Today is the best day of the work week. Today is Good Friday. Today is payday. Today is week 13 of the 100 envelope savings challenge. Roth IRA savings challenge. Disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor. I am just sharing what works for me. Here we manage our money wisely. Here we create a budget. Here we save first and spend later. Here we set financial goals. Here we invest early. Here we avoid debt. To summarize what I just said, here we earn, save, and invest for the long haul. Here we are building a solid financial foundation. Here we make sure we are fully funded weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly. As the head of the money management team, I want to go over the 3 money management rules that we have here. Golden rule number 1, don't spend more than you earn. Golden rule number 2, always plan for the future. Golden rule number 3, help your money grow. And how do we help our money grow? We help our money grow by saving and investing, friends and family. Here we are building wealth, like I told you. I'm gonna give you 5 building wealth tips, and I have it written down here that I found, on social media, because on social media I'm subscribed to a lot of building wealth, helping your money grow and stuff like that. So building wealth number 1. You don't need a huge salary to build wealth. As long as you consistently saving and investing more than your income alone. All right, that's very, very important. You have income, but what you do with your income is very, very important. Number 2, wealth rarely comes from big risk. Only by discipline, habits usually outperform gambling on the next big thing, right? You don't want to take big risk, right? You don't. It could be small. Like when I started my tax business, I started, a small amount of money, which was I think like probably like 5,000. I invested 5,000, on my tax business 5 years ago or 5 years ago, and by year 3, I already made my money back and I make more. You understand what I'm saying? And every year I'm making more money. You know what I mean? So that's what that means. You don't have to take big risks, right? And number 3, budgeting doesn't mean giving up fun. All right? It doesn't mean giving up fun. It gives you clarity and control over your money. That's what a budget is. A lot of people, when you hear budget, they're like, oh man, come on. I can't buy lattes and I can't buy guacamole, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be that way. And number 4, financial literacy isn't optional. Understanding how money works is the foundation of long-term wealth. All right, friends and family. So that's very, very important. You need to know how money works, in order for you to build wealth. All right. And then the last one is real wealth isn't only financial. Okay. Health is wealth, right? It also includes peace of mind, strong relationship, and time and freedom. That's what wealth is. All right, friends and family. So that's what we're doing here on this channel. Y'all been watching me, and I want to say thank you for always tuning in. Thank you for always, liking the content. I really appreciate each and every one of y'all. Last week, I put the episode when I got off from work because I usually set it up for 12 midnight Friday, and for some reason my phone was acting up, so that's the reason why you didn't get the content early in the morning as you usually do. You got it, later in the evening when I got back home. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with my phone. I have 2 phones, so the other phone that I use to upload my videos, that I don't know what happened. Okay, but it's okay as long as y'all got the content. I try to keep it consistent. What we do here, we are disciplined and we keep things consistent, right? We do things consistently because that's how things work. You have to do it consistently. It's like repeat it. All right, friends and family. Okay, so we are going to add our money into our 100 envelope savings challenge notebook. As you can see, Let's mark down with the marker for week 13. All right, we could use this. Yeah, week 13. I hope you all having a wonderful day. I hope you all have a wonderful and productive weekend also. So we already marked down week 13, okay? And we already finished week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now we are doing week 13. All right, friends and family. So we have $13. All right. 10, 11, 12, 13. So we are going to put it in the $13 socket. There we go. I don't know why this thing is giving me a hard time. There you go. All right, so week 13. All right. So winter is officially over. Finally, we had a crazy winter. For some people, they say that it was a winter that we needed because we haven't had this type of winter in a long time. And for me, when it came to the oil bill, usually sometimes like in January and February, they give me oil twice a month, and that happened this winter. And the reason why is because, the wind, we had a cold winter. So that boiler is constantly running. And I have a new boiler too. It's supposed to be efficient, and it is. It's efficient, but I'm not gonna complain about them giving me oil twice, as long as I have oil. Because there was one time when we first bought this house, I think it was year 2 or year 1, our boiler had a leak. The oil was leaking, and it leaked a lot of oil. I got a cousin that he works with boilers, so he told me where to go, what I had to do, and things like that. And I ran out of oil. I didn't know that the oil that was draining out was coming from the oil tank. Well, obviously, right? But I'm new. I'm a new homeowner, so it was a disaster because we didn't have oil, and I was getting oil once a month, and a lot of the oil that was dripping was coming from that tank. And the guy that was usually giving me the oil, he wasn't around. It was a weekend, and we didn't have no oil, so we couldn't heat up the house. So it was cold that weekend, But thank God I was able to call him. But he sold his company to this big company that I'm dealing with now, so they make sure that we have oil, and that's a good thing because you don't want to get stuck in the middle of the night, and your boiler. Things happen when you're a homeowner. Things do happen. So it's the reason why I always save money for emergencies, so that way emergencies like that, I have money to, get things done. You understand what I'm saying? So let's mark down week 13 also here. And we have $91. We saved up $91. All right, friends and family. We did that. And then we are going to save $25 extra for our what we have here. So we should have $300. And I have $299 in my Roth IRA. We're gonna add another 25, so that'll be 325. It'll probably be 324 depending. All right, so we have 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 300. We're gonna add another 25. That's gonna make it 325. All right. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 3, 10, 25. All right, friends and family. So we got that out of the way. And now we are going to just make sure that we are fully funded for the week. And we have water bill fully funded, oil bill fully funded, mortgage is fully funded, phone bill is fully funded, insurance is fully funded. So this is the last week of March. So now we're looking forward to April. All right, friends and family, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And God willing, I'll come back with some more content. God willing, I'll come back with week 14 of the 100 Envelope Savings Challenge, Roth IRA challenge. Friends and family, have a blessed weekend. And God willing, like I said, we come back and we're going to do it again. All right. Remember, discipline and consistency is the key to building wealth. All right. Peace and love.